Um, okay. It's after midnight. And so, right now I'm going to talk about villainy and the darker aspects of my spirituality. Okay. And, yeah. You know. Um, that, in my spirituality, relative to the culture that I live in, I play the villain, you see. You know, okay. All right, let me say this. Okay. So the dark in this case represents, that which is mysterious. And, me being a villain is based on me being a nonconformist. And since I'm a nonconformist, then I'm rebellious. Okay. And hell, Hasatan, or however you say this in Hebrew, the Hasatan, Satan, it just means the opposer. So, as it pertains to the way I fit into the culture, or lack thereof, I'm a villain. And I embrace this aspect of my nature, and this aspect of my character, a natural, this is a natural characteristic for me, to find rest and to find peace in such things, as, being a free thinker, All right, so I'm going to discuss that, and why that matters to me, you know what I mean? Because you see, listen. Listen, man, there was a time in my life where I was utterly confounded and just miserable, I was afflicted, night and day, with cognitive dissonance and, just intrusive thoughts and a lot of stuff. And a part of me now feels like, that it was due to, holding, like I'm saying, the cognitive dissonance, holding so many conflicting thoughts. Before, in the environment that I grew up in, Christianity was something that was pushed. It seemed like a good idea to my child mind because, well, I wanted to go to heaven and I didn't want to go to hell. Of course, I didn't realize the traps and the snares that came along with it. And, the mysteries of the Bible and all this. So, to my child mind, it seemed like pretty good. But definitely, as I got older, as I progressed to an older adolescent, I suffered a great deal, because of the beliefs I held. So, that shit was supposed to be, help you to conform to a great portion of society, if not, what it is, the larger aspect of society, being a Christian or having Christian values, to be like Christ or something like that. And, it was, it was definitely considered bad to rebel against those kind of values. But, like I said, it just seemed so fucking destructive, to practice those kinds of things. Almost, it did drive me fucking crazy. It drove me fucking nuts. So, years down the road, I started, to consider atheism just so that my mind could, relax a little bit. So I became an atheist. But, somewhere along the lines, catering to, the aspect of myself that is curious about destiny and fate and motivation as to why the fuck do I do anything. Because here's the thing, I don't think anyone really has to do anything. I look around as society, and I see cars and trucks moving around, delivering stuff, people going to work, people selling people donuts and burgers and coffee and all of this. I'm talking about, just, Dunkin' Donuts, your local bakery, what have you, your gas station coffee, just people's, what people are doing. No one has to do any of those things. If they don't do those things, it's gonna be all right. None of this is necessary. What the fuck is the end game? Seriously, what in the fuck is the end game to all this shit that's going on in society? You know what I mean? People are so fucking beside themselves. I mean, fucking, they are absolutely clamoring over. Look at our accomplishments. Oh, look at how far modern man has come. You haven't gotten anywhere. Okay, you have yet to exceed your ability to only feel a certain amount of pleasure. You cannot exceed the limit of pleasure that you can currently have. Okay? So modern advancements have yet to break down the firewalls of, the limits of happiness that a person can have. All right, and if people think a longer life is happiness, I'm pretty fucking skeptical about that. A longer life may be a fucking goal. It may be a natural thing to try to go toward, but whether it's better than a short life, I don't fucking know. I mean, you don't really have to live, You can die, I suppose, So, so that part of me, the part of me that was contemplating those things, why? Why not just die? Why not just lay here and starve or die or kill myself or something like that? What the fuck is even the point? I mean, hell, as a young man, I thought, well, I sure would like to get some pussy. That would be fun. I've seen millionaires and stuff on TV. That stuff seems pretty cool. All that action and all that, all that fucking, being social and stuff definitely seems like it would be stimulating and fun and something I would like to do. Maybe I should pursue that. But, what was I going to do in the fucking meantime? You know what I'm saying? What was I going to do in the meantime? And what was I going to do after that? Post being a millionaire and post, having, regular intercourse and all of that, and all the normal things that people want to do, material things, surviving, reproducing, and such things. Past this point, what the fuck was I going to do? You know what I'm saying? So I still wanted to deal with. I wanted to. Maybe I felt like maybe this is what I felt. Maybe I felt like there was something there. Maybe there was something better. There, something nicer, something like what the Christian religion promised. Which is everlasting life. Maybe the Christians were on to something, but maybe I should try to go about that thing in a different light, because everlasting life, which with that consists of only bliss, moreover, that seems like a pretty fucking good deal. That seems like a pretty fucking good deal. So, well, that has some allure to it. So, I began to, these thoughts were motivated by external influences, of course, but, well, as some external influences, being on the internet, watching movies, listening to music, and hearing things about, you know, philosophy and Eastern religion, and watching technology and New Age philosophy and stuff like this, you know, having those kinds of things influencing me, I thought to myself, well, these things don't really seem to restrict my thinking as much as they are presenting things that exist, you know, and theories, which are things. But look, these things are fucking off the cuff. These videos are off the cuff. So, I'm listening to theories, and I'm listening to analyses and things like this. So I think that's a better way to package it. So I'm listening to analyses on the world around me and theories and all that. Now that sounded pretty good, and perhaps that could take me to what was being called wholeness, being called what was holy, what was righteous, what was appropriate, correctness. So thus, in those days is when I became, a practitioner of villainy. Yeah, so the dark, indeed.